What's up everybody? Welcome back to Idiot Proof Cooking. So today we have a gorgeous day outside and those have been few and far between this spring. So I wanted to get out my smoker and make something delicious. What I'm going to be making today is burnt ends out of pork belly. Now I've been making this recipe for a few years now and it is just fantastic. It's very easy to do, albeit you do have to have a smoker to do it. So without any further ado, let's get into it and I'll show you how to make these burnt ends. Okay, let's talk about the first ingredient in pork belly burnt ends, the actual pork belly. Now you can pick this up from a lot of different grocery stores, however most of the time it'll come in a large slab rather than the strips that I've bought. Regardless, what you're going to want to do is cut it into about 1-inch cubes and throw them into a disposable tin pan, because what we're going to do from here is once they're all in the pan, we're going to coat them in olive oil and throw a dry rub on to make sure they're all nice and evenly coated. As you see, I ran out of room there, so I set some of the pork belly aside, cut up the rest, loaded it into the pan. From there, set the entire pan aside because now it's time to work on your dry rub. Now dry rubs are really idiot proof. I'm going to eyeball all of these measurements. So I'm going to be using about between a quarter and half cup of brown sugar. So a dash of smoked paprika. You can use regular paprika if you want, but I prefer the smoked paprika. It's about a tablespoon or so of it. Up next is a few dashes of chipotle chili powder, again about a tablespoon of it or so. Adding in about another tablespoon of cayenne pepper for some heat. Another tablespoon of garlic powder. Another tablespoon of onion powder. A tablespoon or so of ground black pepper, and a good helping of kosher salt. So like I said, as you can see, I'm eyeballing all of this because at the end of the day, these are forgiving. You're going to taste it, and if you like the taste, go with it, but you can always you can always add more in to change the taste around. As you can see here, I stirred mine in and I felt it needed a little bit more sweetness, so I added in some more brown sugar and mixed it in. Get creative and experiment with the dry rub. Really make it your own. Give it a little taste test again, and yeah, it's way better. That's what I'm going with now. Okay, from there, go get your pork belly again and generously coat it in olive oil, because what we're going to do here is pour the dry rub over it and really mix it in to make sure all of these little diced up cubes are evenly coated with the dry rub. As you start sprinkling the dry rub all over the pork, what you'll find is the stuff at the bottom hasn't gotten hit yet, so what you'll want to do is just mix it up with your hands. Make sure you get the stuff from the bottom up and just keep coating it with dry rub. However, make sure to set some dry rub aside and don't use all of it, because you will want to use some of it when making your homemade barbecue sauce, which I'll show you how to do very soon. From there, grab your racks for your smoker. Now I have a Bradley electric smoker. Grab your racks, start loading them up with the pork belly. I don't actually move this fast. The video's sped up. I know that's shocking to hear. Oh, I've run out of room on my cutting board again. Set those aside. Get the other racks. And keep loading them up. I only ended up needing 3 racks, so take the 4th rack and throw it away. There we go. Alright, from there, gather up all of your burnt ends, and it's time to go to the smoker. So what you'll want to do is smoke these in 3 steps. The first step is smoke them for 3 hours uncovered in your smoker at anywhere from 225 to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. As a side note, how awesome was that shot of me opening up the smoker and the smoke just billowing out? Entirely unintentional, but what a great shot. Set your timer for 3 hours and come back to check on them. Now let's talk about barbecue sauce. You can use store-bought stuff and that works just as fine. There is a lot of delicious barbecue sauces you can buy, but I want to make my own. So start off with some ketchup. I'm using about a half cup of ketchup, and again, I'm eyeballing all this because it's very forgiving. Also about 2 tablespoons of Frank's Red Hot sauce, about 2 tablespoons of melted butter, half a cup of brown sugar, a few splashes of Worcestershire sauce. Set it right on the first try. using the juice of half a lemon. Again, like I said, experiment. Make this barbecue sauce your own. It's pretty hard to screw these up. Now remember I said set aside some of your dry rub because you're going to want to use it in a barbecue sauce. So I'm throwing in a few dashes of that. And then finally a little dash of apple cider vinegar. Now mix that all together, and similar as the dry rub, test it and see if you like it. As you can see, I felt like mine needed a bit more of the dry rub. So I added it in and mixed it all around. From there you'll want to put it on a medium heat on your stove and simmer for about half an hour. Now that you have some time to yourself, best way to spend that is pour yourself a scotch. I'm having a Lagavulin Offerman edition. And if you're me, have a nice cigar. Smoke this for about the next 2 hours, waiting for my pork belly to smoke. If you're wondering, I prefer Hondurans. Cheers. We'll see you soon. After 3 hours in the smoker, the pork belly is going to look like that. But they're not done yet. You're going to want to get another one of those disposable tin pans and throw all of the burnt ends into the tin pan. Look at them though, they are starting to look great. It's hard to resist not eating them now. But you have a few more steps to make these truly delicious. What you'll want to do now is go get yourself some butter, about 2 to 3 tablespoons worth, and dice it into little strips. You're going to throw it in with the pork belly. As you can see here, I'm dicing it into little strips so it melts easier. And then you'll get your homemade barbecue sauce, pour that in, and grab some honey and pour that in and mix it all around. Now what you'll want to do here is once it's all mixed in, cover with tin foil and throw back in the smoker for another 2 hours at the 250 degrees Fahrenheit. After the 2 hours is up, take the tin foil off and smoke uncovered for a final 15 minutes so that the sauce thickens up a little bit. As you can see, covering it up and taking it back to the smoker. After 2 hours and 15 minutes, it came out looking like this. Holy, those look good. Yeah, look at how nice those look. And the smell is just incredible. Honestly, I think these are the best burnt ends I've made yet. Look at the color on these things. Aren't they beautiful? My God, they look awesome. So let's go in for a quick taste test here. And yeah, those are fantastic. The homemade barbecue sauce was really, really good. Just the smoky flavor of these is fantastic. But, like always, that's the end of the episode. I hope you like what you saw here today. If you did, maybe subscribe to my channel, like the video, or drop a comment. Thanks again for watching Idiot Proof Cooking. We'll see you again soon.